Hey you guys, so in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to be high maintenance, but not only that, I'm going to teach you how to be high maintenance and proud of it. This has been something that's been on my mind for a while. I don't think this conversation is going to go the way that you think it is, so don't get ahead of me. Wait till it's over. But I think this is a mindset shift that we all desperately need to bring into 2021. If you're not already living in this now, you need to get on board with it. But really quick before we get started, make sure you check the down bar for links on my social media platforms. Come hang out with me on Patreon for bonus content and the book club. Make sure you thumbs up the video if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you are new here. You know you want to. And if you're not new here, hey, what's up? How's your mom and them? And yeah, let's just get started. So quickly, I want to talk about the definition of high maintenance. Fun fact, if you Google high maintenance, the first thing that pops up is high maintenance and then high maintenance woman, which we'll get into momentarily. But the basic definition of high maintenance is, quote, needing a lot of work to keep in good condition. And the informal definition usually refers to a person or a relationship. And the definition is demanding a lot of attention. The example that it lists is, I freely admit to being high maintenance. Usually we see the high maintenance woman depicted in media as someone who's usually vapid, self-centered, materialistic, stuck up, snobby. She's usually pitted against a cool girl. I hate the friggin' cool girl thing so much. If you guys want to see some great videos on kind of the cool girl and like the whole pick me thing that is being discussed right now in popular media, check the down bar. There's a link there from The Take, which is one of my favorite channels on YouTube. And I recently found this great commentary video about it that I sent to my best friend as well. And she was like, this is amazing. And that's a big part of what inspired me to make this video, quite honestly. But usually the high maintenance woman is, again, like I said, pitted against the cool girl, and it's all done for the benefit of men. Also, God forbid a woman be anything that we can't put into some sort of category and box and label. We just can't be more than one thing, I guess. I've never been called high maintenance. It's been a compliment, and I have been called it many, many times in my life. Pretty much for as long as I can remember, honestly. Now, I think it's important for everyone who likes to hurl this word around as an insult, first of all, to understand that high maintenance absolutely does not always refer to anything that has to do with your physicality. In fact, I was talking to my sister and my best friend who are extremely low maintenance physically. That's not an insult. That's just who they are. They want to be that way. They're happy to be that way. And I'm fine with that too, because I don't give a shit what other people are doing. But anyway, they're not, I'm kind of the cheese stands alone in my friend circle with all of this. You know what I mean? But when we talked about it, you know, they agreed that I am high maintenance, and they agreed that it is something everyone has known about me for a long time. But they also said that they're like, you know what, Whitney? I'm high maintenance. You know, I'm emotionally high maintenance. I have my own type of high maintenance stuff. And that is why, again, I think it is so interesting that we tend to hurl this insult towards women based solely off the way that they look. Never mind that any given person can be high maintenance in their own way. And sometimes it can be a draining and emotionally exhausting type of high maintenance. In my opinion, the physical manifestation of high maintenance lifestyle or whatever is usually a direct reflection of expectations and standards that you have for yourself. If it's done in a healthy way. It's not supposed to be some kind of armor that you wear. Your appearance says something about you, whether you like it or not. Let it reflect the inner you if you so choose. However, looking high maintenance but holding zero inner value or self-worth completely defeats the purpose, in my opinion, of going through all the pageantry of what, again, we typically refer to as the standard high maintenance woman. Again, because it's always women. You need to start with the inside first. And that's where I think that the high maintenance attitude needs to shine the most. So let's talk about the difference between high maintenance and high standards. Most of the people who tend to hurl around the phrase high maintenance in a negative way as an insult, what they're actually talking about is someone who has high standards. And it's usually high standards that they either have no interest in meeting or they themselves know they're incapable of meeting. So the only way they know how to handle this information they're getting that you have high standards is to try to cut you down and make you think that you have no business having them in the first place. You know, all this talk of women being high maintenance because they're controlling or money obsessed or superficial, it's interesting because that is not gender specific. I have met I know you all have too, There are so many men out there that personify those exact traits and characteristics, and we never call them high maintenance. Never. Being image or superficially obsessed, it just isn't the move. That's a never-ending hamster wheel you're going to hop on. Also, like I just said, high maintenance is not necessarily what you own or what you do. I mean, it is kind of partly what you do, but more than anything, it is a mindset. It's a belief system about yourself. And it kind of doesn't have anything to do with looks. Because you can be beat and slayed to the goddess herself and have a crushingly low opinion of yourself at the very same time. Conversely, you can be the cool girl and low maintenance and still also value yourself very poorly and not respect yourself. I have seen lots of girls do this, where they think that because they don't wear makeup or curl their hair, that somehow they're superior to women that do. But I know for a fact some of these women have really incredibly low standards. So my point is, you can't clock high maintenance just by looking at someone. Period. I don't believe that for a second. And at the end of the day, to be maintained is to require a certain amount of work to keep what is. And in my opinion, keeping these standards and the maintenance required low only serves to benefit other people. And that is why people want to shame you for having high standards or being high maintenance, whichever way you want to, personify this. Which brings me to the people who fear standards. I was in an abusive relationship at one time in my life, and my partner met me when I was young. Like I said, I have always been like this. And this person knew that about me from the very first time that they met me. In fact, it is what attracted them to me. It is what they liked about me the most, at least in the beginning. That's what drew them to me. But it wasn't until we got together that they just single-handedly thought it was their right and their place to kind of tear me down and make me feel like my standards for myself, my aesthetic, and my preferences made me a bad person. And that somehow it was a reflection of how I felt about him, and that if I cared about the way that I looked, I didn't care about him. And that was because he was, in fact, high maintenance. He was emotionally high maintenance. He threw temper tantrums when he didn't get his way. He stalked me. He tried to control me. That is high maintenance. So, it just really goes to show you that the type of people that want to throw that word around are trying to control your actions and your perception of yourself. And again, it only serves to benefit them. If you want to hear me talk a little bit more about that relationship, I did a video in 2019 about makeup shame, which, as we all know, are the people who try to be like, oh, why don't you just be natural? Like those type of people. Talked a little bit about it in there, which that's a whole nother subject in itself. I genuinely do not understand why people care what women are wearing and doing so much. As always, that is a reflection of them, not you. But yeah, if you want to hear kind of more about my thoughts on being shamed for your appearance, check that video out. I will link it down below. But anyway, that relationship for a little while really got into my head. And for some time, it did kind of have me being like, am I superficial? Am I seeking attention? And all these things were in my head for some time because I was too young to see it for what it was, which was projection and manipulation. And I'm not saying that every single person who comes and gives you feedback about your appearance or the way that you choose to present yourself to the world is seeking to control you. But you know this when you see this. And my point is, if you have people in your life who are trying to manipulate your standards and your perception of yourself, GTFO. Got it? Got it. But yeah, this person met me, pursued me, wanted a relation with, obviously had a lot of low value issues, a lot of low standard issues with themselves. This person is not ambitious, is not hardworking, doesn't do a whole lot, really just kind of wants to do the bare minimum in general. And they obviously felt very threatened and intimidated by me because I was not like that. And it is okay to be any type of person you want to be. I'm genuinely not trying to shame anyone, like different folks, different strokes. But it just does not make any sense that you would want to be in a relationship with someone who you clearly have a vendetta against, I trigger something in you. So the way that you decide to handle it is to shrink me. And that is something I have spent so much time trying to unpack. And it's a big reason why I want to make this video, because again, I don't want you guys to get it confused. You should be high maintenance and have high standards so that these kinds of people want nothing to do with you. I don't want people around me who are like that. And I was just too young back then to understand it. Because again, this person would throw fits, would hide my stuff, would stalk me, if he couldn't find me or if I wouldn't answer my phone, he would track me down. Now, who in this relationship do you think was actually high maintenance? I'm going to give you a hint. 100 times out of 100, it was not me. And that's kind of my point. People are going to shame you for your choices no matter what you do. You're not going to make people happy. But you really should not be allowing yourself to be changed or swayed or minimized by people who don't even have their own shit together. You have to be your number one fan and your number one supporter 100 times out of 100, because had I really listened to this person and really let this attitude become pervasive in my life, that me wanting things for myself or me valuing myself made me bad, where would I be now? Where would I be? It makes me sick to think about, quite frankly. And an easy way to shame you into doing this, again, call a woman high maintenance. Call her difficult. Just because she has standards for herself? Okay. Because again, you can be outwardly low maintenance looking and have absolutely the highest standards for how you are going to allow people to treat you. Your appearance is not really what this is about. So how do you become high maintenance if that's what you want to be, which again, like I said, you should be. Like I said, it is a vibe. It is a mentality. You do not have to wear high heels and fake lashes to have this aura about you. It's a lot of low maintenance looking people out there who will make it your life's goal to maintain the absolute shit out of them. So don't be fooled. For me, I am high maintenance to and for myself. I hold myself to a standard of growth and improvement, and yeah, to being that bitch, because that's what I want to do. And also because I enjoy it. I enjoy hair and makeup and clothes and jewelry and all that stuff. I like it. When I was little, like in high school, I would literally, this is obviously way before social media, I would sit in my room and just do my hair and my makeup just to sit in my room, because it's kind of like meditative for me. It ain't hurting anybody. It is literally not hurting a single soul. Again, people be getting so frazzled about this. It's hilarious. But even if I was like stranded on a desert island with nary an eyebrow pencil in sight, I would still have the same energy that I have right now, which is what I want matters. What I need matters. What I think matters. And I don't need or frankly want anyone to maintain me. That's my job, a job I'm happy to show up and do every single day. I will not even remotely entertain the idea of people coming into my life that do not enrich or benefit it in some way. Now, that's not to say I expect things from people at all. It's just that you're certainly not going to walk up into my life and into my personal space and drag me down with you. What the hell? People who are determined to disrupt or dismantle or disrespect the things that I want or the things that I'm working for or the things that I think I deserve, there's no need for that energy. Just because that is the type of relationship that you're used to having, it doesn't make it normal or healthy. You guys really need to examine how your relationships make you feel. Your team, the people around you should be like, yes, that's really what high maintenance attitude is about. You know yourself, you know the standards you have for yourself, and you know the standards you have for those around you. And that is good and a healthy attitude to have. Again, I'm going to say it again. Anyone who seeks to shame you out of these standards does not care about you. They want to control you. And I don't do well with being controlled, baby. You are not selfish for having dreams or preferences or goals or boundaries or wearing a damn pair of high heels. And if it is really hard for you to reconcile what I am saying, I would highly suggest you get into therapy. Now, hold on. I'm not saying if you don't agree with me, go to therapy. What I am saying is I have interacted with a lot of people in my own personal life who, and I know there's tons of people like this as well. It's not just kind of this anecdotal thing. I think it is a big problem where if you grow up around a certain type of treatment, you start to really normalize these types of boundary crossing relationships, these controlling relationship dynamics. You really start to synonymize love and suffering with each other. You really do not expect that people should respect what you have to say. You really do not expect that people should allow you to be the way that you want to be without getting tons of pushback. You guys, if these types of things sound like what a lot of your relationships look like, there's nothing wrong with you, which is usually what these types of relationships seek to instill in you, the idea that you're the problem. It's not you. People who really care about you and love you do not do this. So if it is hard for you to understand what I'm saying and it sounds unreasonable what I'm saying, what I am describing are healthy boundaries and a healthy self-identity. It's usually called being high maintenance, like I just said, particularly by people who do not want you to be that way. So if it is hard for you to understand this, if it really sounds banana sandwich, I, with love, suggest that you get into some therapy because I want you to thrive and I want you to be around people who care about you, truly care about you and your growth. I've been called high maintenance and stuff like that by way more people than just my abusive ex. Where this used to really, like I said, get to me and bother me, now when people say it, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of turns me on. The people in my life are curated because they are supportive, because they're rooting for me. And let me tell you something. Anyone who is my friend will tell you that I'm the exact same way. I am in your corner. You swing, I swing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I bring that energy to my relationships because I want to be around winners. I am just inspired by people who go after what they want. My husband is one of the most high-achieving, hardworking, dedicated, inspirational, motivated people I have ever met in my life. And being with him has really helped me find my own sense of self-worth and my own value, and truly shown me for the first time in my life just how far you can get yourself with hard work, because I really didn't grow up around that kind of an attitude. I grew up in a really dysfunctional family. So I took that energy out into the world and expect that to be what it was, and it's not true. So what I'm trying to say is this high maintenance attitude, you should be giving it to other people. You should definitely be giving other people that kind of space and support as well. But when you have that attitude and you filter out all the shit people who are not going to do anything for you, you are left with relationships that literally make everything in life possible, doable, and worth doing anyway. It's indescribable when I think about the crap I used to put up with and tolerate. It kind of makes me cringe. I could do a whole video, and I'm thinking about doing it, about love lessons I've learned, because I got shit to say. But now the relationship I am in now and the friends I have now, like, they inspire me. That's what the people in your life should do. They shouldn't be you can do bad all by yourself, girl. You don't need any help. Do not give people the pleasure of taking you down with them. I don't let people cross boundaries anymore. I don't take shit from anybody. And you can call me high maintenance if you want to. Again, I kind of like it. The physical expression of being high maintenance is great. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I'm not going to tell you to do it. And by the way, I know some people will never care about that kind of stuff, and that is okay. Like I said, I am the only person I know in my real life who is like me. None of my friends, none of them are like this at all. But that is okay with me. It's not a prerequisite to be in my life at all. It doesn't matter to me. This has nothing to do with other people. This is for me. But I will say this much. At the bare minimum, you guys, you should be maintaining yourself on a self-care healthy level, to include your physical activity and your diet and your hygiene. Those things are not necessarily just about like it is about maintaining yourself, and it just shouldn't be about aesthetics. It should be about it's kind of like a physical expression of that intention you have set for yourself. I value myself and respect myself and love myself enough to know that I'm going to eat 3 square meals today and get 20 minutes of exercise because I love myself, and that's what I'm going to do. It doesn't have to have anything to do with weight loss. In fact, I would argue it shouldn't, because then you'll only ever look at it through that lens, when it really should be about benefiting yourself and being healthy. Same thing with like your shower and your hygiene routine. I talked about this in a video not too long ago, because I know that when a lot of people are in a low place in their life, when they're feeling depressed, some of the first places that it might show is in their hygiene routine. You know, they might not be taking as good enough care of their teeth, going to the dentist regularly, getting showers regularly, changing their clothes regularly. And that is kind of what I mean when I say the external, although it is not always an indication of how you feel about yourself. It can be a manifestation of that. If you are not taking care of yourself, like truly taking care of yourself, aesthetics out of the question, I'm willing to bet you don't think very highly of yourself either, because we tend to put care into the things we care about. Speaking of which, if you guys want to see like a hygiene, shower routine, glowy goddess, high maintenance bath kind of thing, I will do a video about it. Thumbs up or leave a comment down below, because I love those types of videos. And honestly, when I'm not feeling good about myself, a good shower and a blowout, it really does help, because it is me taking that time to kind of reinforce the standard I have set for yourself, which again is really what this is about our standards for ourselves and for others. And the less time and energy you spend taking care of yourself, you're just reinforcing the idea in here that you're not worth it, that you don't deserve it. So you're going to be real quick and easy to allow people to come into your life and do what? Tell you that you're not worth it. Show you that you don't deserve the things that you deserve. It don't start out here. It starts in here. So I can definitely do more content around what it takes to be high maintenance, whether it's more mindset talks, whether it's high maintenance routines, high maintenance habits, high maintenance lifestyle tips and tricks, because I believe in my heart of hearts, this is an epidemic that we are seeing, and it doesn't just affect women at all. Men, trans women, trans men, everyone is susceptible to having low self-worth and a low opinion of themselves, and then manifesting in ways that will truly ruin your life. If we do not think highly enough of ourselves, we will take anything that comes in front of us, and it is really hard to change that mind frame, that way of looking at oneself, unless you really dig in and choose to do so. And I would be happy to help you do it, because it's deep work I've been doing for a long time. I have been in therapy for 3 years now, trying to understand why I found myself in some of the situations I have found myself in life. And if I can help you guys with this, that's what I would love to do. So please let me know if you would like to see more things around that. So again, I wish to make myself very clear, being high maintenance is not the same thing as being difficult or emotionally unstable or superficial or rude. Those are expressions of actually dysfunction, and that's the exact opposite of what being high maintenance is. So please do not confuse the two. And perhaps maybe on some level in the Webster's dictionary it says very expressly that's what high maintenance is. Well, whatever, I'm taking it back and I'm going to make it positive, because if you're going to call me it, I'm going to make it something I like to hear anyway. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you to the patrons. We are working on our book club today. We have the book club meeting where we're talking about The 4 Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin. Next, we're moving on to Atomic Habits by James Clear. Patreon is where it's at PipCat. It is my favorite. And everyone always says, like, you only say that because you get paid. I get paid way more to be here than I get paid to be on Patreon right now. And I still love it because it is a really close, tight-knit group of women that we just have so much fun over there together. And I have big plans for all the social media platforms this year. Your girl is back. She's feeling herself, and she's feeling all of y'all. You guys are my beautiful babies. So yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Check the down bar for links on my social media platforms, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.